So hello everyone, I am Mayank Meena and I am GSOC 2021 developer at Scholarlab. And today in this video I would like to show you the demonstration of my GSOC project, which is Gitter chatbot for Scholarlab. And it's an open source project, so it can be integrated to any other community's Gitter channel as well. So in this video I will talk about the brief introduction about the project. I will give a brief introduction about project. I will show you the implementation of the project idea in my code base, and I will try to implement some of the use case in the deployed version of the Gitter chatbot on the test Gitter chatbot channel, which I have created in my Gitter personal room. And I will also discuss about the documentation of the project. So let's begin with the project abstract first of all. Okay, so to understand the project, first of all let us discuss what is the need for this project. Okay, so many contributors face this challenge when they come to a new open source organization. They tend to find it difficult to find projects of their skills and interests, and Scholarlab saw a need of creating and automating the process of helping the new contributors via Gitter chatbot. So this chatbot is basically programmed to help new contributors find their right projects. So if the users is a new contributor, then the project will welcome the user and try to process his message, and will find if the user has given skills, interest or not, and process the message, then query the database to create a list of the project and show it to on the Gitter channel. So this is the project idea and the need of the project. And now I would like to discuss about the idea implementation. I will discuss about each and every step I have taken to implement the project idea. And so let us begin with the first challenge, which was communication of the chatbot with the Gitter channel of the community. So I want to switch to my VS Code window for this. Okay, so here in the src directory I have created modules for each and every functionality. So for the communication and the main body of the Gitter chatbot, we have a main.py module which deals with the connection of the Gitter channel and the chatbot. Here I have used the GitterPy library and I have created an instance of GitterPy client, which requires a token that is loaded from the environment file, and after that the stream API of provided by the Gitter API is used in this function, so that it can listen to each and every new message event in the Gitter channel. Okay, and the after few basic validations, that also includes the conversion of a byte string to a retrievable response, and few more validation are included here, which tells about the use case of the message. So if the message starts with @chatbot help, then it is the bot knows that what to do for this. So that's why I have created two parent use case. The first one includes the case where the chatbot knows that the contributor already exists and it just need to execute the command, and the other use case is when the chatbot needs to process the message and identify if the contributor is a new contributor or an existing contributor. So in this way we need to understand the message processing function, how it is processing the message, and also how it is extracting the data from the message. So I've created a separate module for it. Okay, so the data extraction module just deals with that, and it has a function named as message process message, which takes two argument, message and count. The message is the message from the user, which needs to be processed, and the count variable is the is a saturation count point, where the uh, a validation for a new contributor uh, checks for the value of count. If it's greater than 2, then it knows that the contributor is a new contributor. I will discuss about it uh, more in later. So first of all, let me try to show you the uh, let me try to explain you the functioning of the message process. Okay, so i i I came up with this approach where uh, I just need to put all the existing technologies and skills or interest of that a person can type in the chat box in a separate JSON file. Like here we have a separate JSON file named as search keywords.json that includes few introductory phrases and strings, and so like it includes strings like how should I proceed, how should I start, how can I contribute, and questions which are very frequently asked by the new contributors. So if the bot knows these phrases, then and if anyone sends a combination of these strings, and then the bot can easily identify if the contributor is a new contributor or not. So this is the basic algorithm. I thought about this algorithm to identify a new contributor, and also this approach extends to extract the data from the message as well. So let me just go into the data extraction file. In here, after first of all, the message the message counter looks for the introductory words in the message, and if it founds, then it increases the value of count for every hit, and as soon as count becomes greater than 2, that means 3, then it knows that a new contributor has arrived, and just go into the message processing for the data extraction. So now it queries the it now it again looks into the message for skills and interests. So here we have skills, so it loops through the skill set. I will quickly show you that. Okay, so here we have skill set which has all the skills are which can be asked in the chatbot in the chat. Okay, so and as soon okay, so for every hit it stores the skill in an array, and also like it has an array of named as queries, and it just appends each and every skill it matches in the string set. And after all these, if the length of that array is not 0, that means the user has given us some skill, so it returns that array, and otherwise it returns 0, and 0 means that the user is a new contributor but has not given us the skills and interests. And for -1, it simply means that the user is not a new contributor, it's an existing contributor. Alright, and coming back to the main.py module, here I am again checking for the cases. If it's -1, then I don't need to do anything, so I'm just passing from the check hook. And here when the data is 0, I am calling the default suggestion answer, and if data is not 0, then I need to query the database. So for that I am calling a new another answer function, which is project suggestion answer. So I'll show you both these answers and how it works. Okay, so this is my response module which deals with the response generation part of the chatbot. In this module we have mainly three type of answers. The first one is the help answer. The help answer is created to help the to give a quick guide with the Gitter chatbot to a user. It just includes the all the commands that can be executed in the Gitter chatbot, in the Gitter chatbot's channel, to trigger the Gitter chatbot. Alright, so right now it only has uh, two commands that are -p and list of projects, which just queries the database for the projects in the given technologies, and also the help command, which calls this answer again and again. So okay, and as a next step, I want you to see the default suggestion answer, which will be executed when the user has not given us any skills or interest. So in that case, the chatbot first welcomes the user. So means it knows that the user is a new contributor, so it welcomes the new contributor. Then it asks the users to give skills and interest, and also the commands to execute for the same. Okay, so as we have discussed, the -p command is needs to be executed for this case. All right, so the last answer which I want to talk about is the project suggestion answer, and this is the main functionality of the Gitter chatbot. It first again welcomes the user, and also query. It has an argument as queries, which includes the queries or skills interest extracted by the data extraction module. It loops through it and queries the database for the projects. Okay, so for it queries the uh, database for the projects, and there are here is a quick filter suggestion for it. It says that it okay, so before the query part, I want you to see the uh, data fields of the project. So in the database, I have used MongoDB Atlas server, so that it's easy to implement the arrays structure. It's a NoSQL based database and very easy to implement. So I have used MySQL and MongoDB, and it also does not go down very oftenly. Okay, so the uh, structure of the database is like this, where it has a tags array, and which includes the tags of the project. Like in this case, it has Python shell, machine learning, and ML, and the name of the project, the GitHub link for the project, Gitter link for the project, as it is very important to to give a discussion channel as well, and also a link to GitHub first issues, good first issues. All right, so this was the structure of the project. Project is stored in the database. So it queries the database with some okay, so let me just come. Okay, so it queries the database with these filter that it doesn't needs the ID and tags, and after this it appends the uh, projects in a list, and returns that list. So here and also one more thing, here is another use case. If the project, if it does not found any project in the given programming languages, then it says that currently it don't have any projects, it has not found any project, but the user can look into this collabs GitHub repositories and gives a link for that. And also in the other case, which is the main case, it appends a list of projects by looping into the projects array. All right, so and after that it returns the answer, which is the response for this case. Okay, so this was response dot py module, and I think I have covered all the modules. Yeah, I have covered all the modules, and okay, now we can proceed to the next part. Okay. Yeah, we have discussed the implementation. mm, okay, I have discussed about the MongoDB, and now we can move on to the next part, which is, let me just close this. Okay, so now let us talk about the outcomes. So these outcomes are generated on the Gitter channel of the which I am using as my test Gitter channel. So I will also show you to by implementing all these outcomes. Okay, so let us go into the this is where I'm testing the project, which is deployed on Heroku. So as soon as I write a message as a new contributor, or let me just yeah, first I write as a new contributor, I will write, hello, my name is Carl, I'm new to open source, I want to collab. Can anyone help me? Okay, so as soon as I type in this message, the Gitter chatbot listens to this message and processes it, and all the things we have discussed. Then it returns with a response where it says that, hey, it welcomes the users and also asks the user, because we have not given this, we have not provided this any skills or interest, so it asks the user to provide the same here. And it also says, if you want to know more about Scholarlab, you can type there is Scholarlab help. So suppose if a user type that Scholarlab help, and as soon as a user types that, it shows me the list of all the commands it has. And okay, so right now, as I've already discussed, it has two commands, help and p, and it says if you want to if you want a list of all the projects in your domain, so then you need to execute this command. So if I do that, scorebot -p, I want projects in Python and machine learning. So I would write machine learning. Okay, so as soon as I do this, it says that yeah, it recognized my skills. It says that Python is there, machine learning is also there, and it has found some projects for me. So it shows Gitter repository, Gitter channel, good for issues link. And let me just go on to their GitHub repository. Let me just go on to that. So here is a GitHub repository for Express Python. Okay, and its Gitter channel is also here, and let me just go into the Gitter channel, and this is Gitter channel for my project. Okay, and alright, so it's working fine, and all the links, and I'm not sure about these links because it may not have any good first issues right now, but the link is working absolutely fine. Okay, so yeah, I think I have implemented all the use cases. Okay, I have implemented this and this. Okay, so what if we give the skills and interests in the message itself? Like I know C, CPP, Java. Okay, so how about this? So it also recognizes the skills. It says it recognizes C, CPP and Java, and it says that we don't have any projects in here, so we can look into the Scholarlab's official Gitter channel. Okay, so that's also sounds promising. Yeah, so we have discussed about the outcomes. Now we should proceed on to the next part, which is improving the code. Yeah, so this was the basic idea implementation of the project. I have worked on these, and I have created this project from scratch. And as the part of improving the code, I have used Python linter and project directory structure. Okay, so for project directory structure, I have created separate folder for unit testing and for source and JSON data, and the project structure is okay, looks good to me. And also the Python linting. So yeah, I have created a pylint rc file which has some basic rules to consider while giving the linting suggestion. I can maybe I can show you the uh, let's just skip that, it's not in the demonstration. Okay, so as far as the deployment is concerned, so I have used Heroku CLI for the deployment. And for the deployment specific files, I have a runtime file which has the runtime development server. Currently a Python server is required, so I created the dependency as Python 3.8.10. And requirements file is also there because Heroku needs to download all the dependencies. So yeah, and proc file is defines the uh, type of dyno. Like Heroku has two type of dyno, worker and web. Worker dyno is aimed, like worker dyno works uh, for 24/7, and the webhook all only gets only runs when the website is called. So we cannot use webhook here because it does not have any link to trigger the bot. It's just that the script should run all the time, so that's why I have used worker dyno for it. And I have created a basic command which is python src main.py, executing the main file. Coming back to src, I have separated each and every module for as per their specialties. And here I have also uh, I have also said that only execute the chatbot when the file is man. Okay, and for the database, it's very important to discuss the storage of the projects, as it's an open source project and many people will use it for their community. So I believe that the this part should also be discussed here. This function is well only executes when this module database module called explicitly, because we also have another other connection strings for the database connection, and I have imported this module in response. So I don't want to execute this database module in response, as it would create multiple copies of the same projects. So here I have created a link which has a variable organization GitHub username that helps the GitHub API. Okay, so I am creating a GET request to GitHub API using this variable URL, and also I am passing headers, which is the latest preview of the GitHub API that helps us to modify the and also get more type of data in the response from the API. So here I am looping through each and every response, because response variable contains a JSON array, and after looping over it, we are storing tags which are nothing but GitHub topics. Let me just go through it. What are GitHub topics? So if I come to Node Cloud project, let me just, or maybe okay, so let me just commit this project. I want to discuss. Okay, so these things which you see here are stored in the tags that helps the that helps the chatbot to understand the what kind of technologies the project is using, and other tags as well. So here I'm storing the good first issues link as well, by creating this. Okay, so this was all about the uh, deployment. And okay, so let me just go through the documentation for the project. So I have used the readme.md file as my documentation. Here I have discussed about the Gitter chatbot in particular. Like, I have created a data flow model. I have written about its data flow, how it is uh, uh, passing the data and processing the messages. It's all there in the documentation. And also I've created a getting started guide for the project, which has the complete details on how one can set up this project locally on their machine. And also, if anyone wants to deploy the project, they can do it simply by following this guide, which is again very helpful. And I've created a contributing guide as well. There I have discussed like how to contribute to Gitter chatbot. So this was about the Gitter chatbot project. And on end note, I want to say that Gitter chatbot is an awesome project. And I want, if you are an open source contributor, then you must consider this as your first open source project to contribute. And I will help you throughout your contribution journey, and the Gitter chatbot will also help you there. And it is deployed. The project is deployed on Heroku, and listening to every message in the chatbot. So come and join that chatbot. I will put the link in description of the chatbot. And you are free to test the project. And let me know if you face any kind of issue. I will try to fix that as well. So yeah, happy open source. Thank you so much.